the more people you know and have connections with, the stronger you're going to be when you hit the job market.
There are opportunities for our work and careers everywhere, if you know where to look. That's easier said than done, especially in our fast-paced and constantly changing world. Ann Faremouth is talking to experts, employers, and job seekers to bring you insight and understanding about what's possible. This is Career Can Do, where we're navigating the new work world.
Welcome to the Career Can Do podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the new work world. My name is Ann Faremouth. I'm a recruiter, corporate trainer, author, and speaker. And today I am just delighted because I have a person on my show who is really making a difference in the new work world. In addition, she's a person from my hometown of Michigan, and she is Jill Peplinski. Jill is an adjunct professor for Walsh College in Troy, Michigan. This year, they celebrate their 100-year anniversary. And this is a private college that is quite prestigious. They are recognized as one of the top 15 MBA online programs, but they have some unique facets to their level of education that I think are worth really bringing out to the world. And also, I have to say, I have been honored to be a mentor at this school. And I'm seeing what the programs Walsh College has for their students is helping them in the new work world. So without further ado, let me introduce my guest today, the adjunct professor to the Department of Business Communications at Walsh, Jill Peplinski. Jill, say hello to everybody.
Hey, hello, Ann. Thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate being on today, and I appreciate the work you've done with mentoring one of our Walsh students.
Okay, well, it's been my pleasure. But I really am so happy about what I see going on at Walsh College because, Jill, as a recruiter on this side of the desk, placing recent college graduates, I think you give your students an advantage. I want you to tell us a little bit about the neat programs you have to really get these students ready for the new work world.
We are all about networking. Many of our adjunct professors are working in the field, so students are able to make connections in that way. We have a phenomenal career services department who hosts internships and career fairs and have a career link just for our students. And of course, we have our mentor program, and we will try and match any interested student with a mentor in their field, and that will help them build professionalism. Just a fabulous program. And again, we appreciate the fact that you have been part of that. And I know the student you mentored has a solid internship in his field of study right now. So working with people who are professionals, very polished professionals, will help our students just build that extra confidence, help them with their resumes and their career searches. And, again, communicating on a professional level. So all of that has just really benefited our students. So I've been excited to be part of Walsh for over 20 years at this point.
Wow, long time. Well, that says a lot about it if a person stays that long. But the other thing I think is so neat, as a recruiter, often I'm a national recruiter. I often get jobs in different places. And we have recently gotten some jobs in the Michigan area. And I have posted on your job board. And I think for some of the clients listening to this, you offer a service, I think, for the benefits both the clients out there, the companies out there, as well as the students. So how does that work? If somebody goes there, Jill, and posts a job on Walsh's career board, what do the students do to be able to look at that?
Oh, we have students that are checking that career board every day, and it's just dedicated specific to our students. So they have a real incentive to check it every day. They're not on something broad like Indeed. Those kinds of sites are wonderful, but these are people looking specifically, and most of the time specifically in our area for our Walsh students. And we tend to focus solidly on business, the accountants and the cybersecurity professionals and finance and marketing people. So yeah, they're checking it every day. So if you do have a posting, you will get a very motivated group of people. Our students tend to be a little bit older, and some of them are transitioning to a different career or just working toward a promotion. They're getting that degree so they can move up in their fields. So very, very ambitious group of students. I love working with the Walsh students.
Well, that's wonderful. And I think that they're lucky to have someone like you, Jill, because obviously you're a professor, but you're a professor that's also worked in corporate America. I mean, you've worked for the Detroit News. You've done working for national, local, and national publications. I think when a student has a professor that has that understanding of not just teaching, but what the work world is like, I think you can offer them a whole lot more. And tell me, with your background, I mean, you're working for the Detroit News and different things, how did you decide to become a professor?
I've done lots of different things. I've probably done every kind of writing there is. And actually, I like teaching best. Just building up our students is tremendously rewarding. So I intended to stay at Walsh about 5 years and then move on to something else. And as I said, it's been over 20 years now. So it has been a rewarding experience. And I love being able to bring prior experiences that I've had to the students. And we started the mentor program in 2017, and I was just overwhelmed by the response we got from people who said, yes, I would love to mentor a student and share everything that I've learned. So very exceptional program.
That's wonderful. Now, Walsh is a private college, so it's a little smaller maybe than some of the public colleges, but with it being a private college, do the students get a little more personal attention? Do they get a little more one-on-one with the professors? I mean, I did go to a private college also, and I think there are some definite advantages to that. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Our class sizes generally are not more than 25 students. So you do get a real one-on-one with the professor. And we do have a dedicated group of people. But, I know most of my students by name. And 5 years later, I'll still get emails from students. Sometimes they update me on their progress. So you really do have a relationship with your professors. And I think in class where you've got maybe 100 students, you wouldn't have that advantage at all. So, and professors are always glad to help students make connections or tell them about job opportunities whenever they have the opportunity to do that. And some of our professors have chosen to be mentors as well, repeatedly. That's a wonderful thing.
So is Walsh College primarily a business college? And if you want to take more of a humanities curriculum or social, I mean, is it more directed toward the business field?
Yes, it's all business. They will take their introductory courses in their first 2 years at a different school or maybe a community college where it's very affordable, and then they'll switch over to Walsh and do their last 2 years, sometimes, through their MBAs. So that, again, gives us such a clear focus that students, are able to start networking immediately with their professors and their mentors. And sometimes with other students, I'll see students in a classroom exchanging resumes or exchanging job tips. And so all of that works to their advantage.
Well, that's great. Well, I know we talked in the Blue Room before we started recording this about your cyber program. And I wanted to ask you, is there a certain higher enrollment in particular fields now more than there was maybe before COVID? I mean, I think that this digital world is front and center and it's only going to get bigger, but the cyber thing is a really big thing now. But do you see that enrollment is in particular areas more so now than before the pandemic, Jill?
Absolutely. Our cyber program has excellent enrollment right now. But the standbys, what we've always done, our accounting and finance programs are also very popular. So, but definitely in cybersecurity, we're ahead of the curve on that one. So that was a really great decision on our part.
That's great. Now, do you have a requirement for your students to do an internship before they graduate? Or that's not a mandatory requirement, that's more by choice?
It's by choice, but we highly encourage it. Our career services people will tell them you really need to have an internship. And again, that's that experience. And if it takes them an extra semester or so to graduate, that experience can't be matched. So they really strive to get students involved in an internship as early on as possible.
I think that's excellent because as a recruiter on this side of the desk, when I get a recent college graduate without any experience, it's harder for me to place that candidate than one that has worked on an internship or has worked maybe even at the college or done something while they're going to school. Because I think when right now everybody's looking at everything under a microscope, the more actual work experience you have, the more valuable you are. So I think Walsh College is also offering their students really cutting edge, not only education, but experience that's going to benefit them more. So I'm thrilled to see that as a recruiter. And let me ask you this too. If a candidate is maybe really struggling with a particular course or they're really having a hard time in it, do you have counselors there that sit down and talk with them about maybe they're in the, like say, for example, maybe they want to do finance or accounting, but maybe marketing's better for them? I mean, do they give them some assessments or visit with them about what career path is more in alignment with what they might have an aptitude for?
And we do the Strong's inventory, very long questionnaire, and that will give them ideas about whether or not, well, maybe I'm more of a salesperson, so maybe finance is a better fit for me than accounting would be. So we'll definitely work with them on that. Our career services department is phenomenal on taking them through that. They do talk to counselors, and sometimes an internship will tell them, I thought I was interested in one area, but really what I want to do is something else now that I've been exposed to different things. So we definitely help steer them in the right direction.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. And I'm sure a lot of your students that you put on internships end up getting made full-time offers. I see a lot of that here too, where people work on internships and they'll call me and say, well, I was on this internship and they offered me the job, but I have a competitor over here that maybe you work with that might be better for me. But I think that's just invaluable experience, don't you?
Oh, yes. It's all about finding the right fit. And sometimes the company you're interning at will offer you the job and everybody just decides this is a good fit. And sometimes not, or sometimes there's more money someplace else, which is always a great thing.
Now that we're kind of moving toward post-pandemic, or at least I hope we are.
I hope so.
Are you having more in the classroom meetings as opposed to online, or is it still more online?
We're still more online. We're slowly easing back. But to be honest, now that most students have gotten used to the online or the Zoom sessions, we have a virtual synchronous where you'll meet once a week on Zoom and still have the lectures just as you would in a classroom. So that's been an interesting addition. And since many of our students are already working adults, it's really nice for them to be able to come home, actually have dinner, and then log on to Zoom so they're not racing right from work to campus and just sort of grabbing junk food along the way. So they're liking it. And since our student body tends to be a little bit older, they don't have to worry about babysitters and that kind of thing. So that's really caught on with students. So it's been a nice addition. So at least something positive has come out of the last 2 years.
I think so. And most of your classes in the evening because most of your student body is working, or do you have some during the day as well?
We are mainly an evening college. So I can't remember the last time I was actually in a classroom, in the morning. We do offer a few of those, but yes, we're primarily an evening school.
Okay. Well, I think, that's a real advantage. I think you're doing a lot more than some of the other schools that I deal with are doing. I can't tell you how much I learned and how much I enjoyed working with your mentee. He was so bright and so professional, and was so grateful, showed so much gratitude for the things that he and I discussed. So, it gave me a real good flavor for the type of student that you attract. That says a lot about your school. Anyway, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, Jill, or wants to look at Walsh, how do they find you? What is the website?
walshcollege.edu.
Okay. And it talks about all the different courses you offer and the curriculums and that. And if somebody's driving right now and you don't remember that, just go to my website. I'll have all the contact information on there. And then let me ask you this, Jill, we're almost to the end here. If you had a couple of tips to give a person who is thinking about maybe, either getting their undergrad in finance or accounting, or more importantly, maybe somebody who's thinking about going to get their MBA, what would you tell them would be the advantages of that?
We're small. We're very business focused, and we really concentrate on connections, whether it's an internship or the mentorship program or just connecting with other students and professors. The more people you know and have connections with, the stronger you're going to be when you hit the job market.
Oh, I agree. Okay, it's all about the power of connections in the new work world, that's for sure. Well, I really appreciate you taking out time today to visit with me on Career Can Do. I've enjoyed speaking with Jill Peplinski, Adjunct Assistant Professor in the Department of Business Communications at Walsh College. Jill, thank you so much. I look forward to working with you in the future, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Thank you. We thank you for tuning in to our Career Can Do podcast. We make no guarantees on results for your particular quest, but we hope you enjoy the information presented. Thank you.